Alright, so we've been fighting a war on poverty for the past, I don't know, 50 years or so. And while America is the most prosperous and richest country in the world, we do clearly still have a problem with poverty in this country. And you know, the past 50 years of government solutions hasn't exactly had the effect that I think all of us would desire. So it's really time for something new, something different, something better. And that something is privatizing the war on poverty. You know, contracting it out to people who can do a much better job than the government can. You know, people who are far more interested in ending poverty than some self-interested politician. You know, and people who feel an actual calling to do something about poverty, to help their fellow man, you know, people who feel that it's their duty to those in need to help them. You know, so who are those people, really? You know, who are these people I'm talking about? You know, let's just cut to the chase here. It's really quite simple. It's the people involved in the faith-based initiatives. They are the ones who feel that they've been called to help the poor. They're the ones who feel that they have a duty to others. They're the ones doing this out of, you know, helping others out of not their own self-interest, but the interest of the people that they're helping. It's really quite simple. Give those people the resources that have been pumped into our poverty programs, our, you know, faceless, cold government programs for the past 50 years. So why would people on the faith-based side do any better than the government's done for the past 50 years? Why should we think that they would solve poverty in a way that's any better than what the federal government, for instance, has done? Well, it's really very simple. As I was talking about before, politicians, the reason that they help people, the reason that they start programs, the reason they, you know, rename post offices or highways after other people's, is merely to gain support among other people so that they can move on further in their careers. What's a politician's #1 priority? To be reelected. It's really a simple concept. It's something that we've seen over and over again. It's inevitable. Politics is filled with self-interested people. Not that they're all bad people. They usually end up many times doing good things because the way our system is set up, because what's in the best interest for their constituents is in the best interest for them. But you know, there's something to be said about someone who does something because it's in their own self-interest compared to someone who does something because they believe that it's their duty or their obligation, or they feel called. And that's really where the faith-based people come in. Those are the people who are not doing it because it's going to necessarily advance their own self-interest, but they're doing it because they feel called by God. and really what's stopping them is in many cases a lack of funding. It's not a lack of desire to help these people, and it's not a lack of bodies on the ground, feet on the ground. Because take Philadelphia, for instance. There's over 2,000 churches in Philadelphia. You give those churches the kind of funding that they need to achieve their goal of helping the poor, and you're going to see some pretty remarkable results. We've seen it already from the faith-based initiatives, a very small department in the executive branch right now, but nonetheless has produced monumental achievements in comparison to this utterly flawed attempt by the federal government to help to end poverty, to help people survive. So what it boils down to is a choice between two different systems. The system we have now, which is macro-managed by a group of self-interested politicians whose main concern is being reelected, or the system I'm proposing, which is micromanaged by a group of people who feel called to help the poor and the needy, and whose goal is simply to help the poor and the needy. I know which one sounds better to me. Which one sounds better to you?